What's up YouTube, it's your boy back again with another YouTube video. So today I'm going to be showing you all how to cheat in exams without getting caught. Yeah, I know everyone here has tried cheating before and at times you get caught. So today I'm going to show you how to not get caught while cheating, or show you how to cheat in exams. That's just it. Yeah. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this YouTube video. And also hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, please. Hit all the buttons you want to hit. And let's get into the video for today.
Okay, I'm pretty sure everybody has at least had a thought about cheating in school. And not even on an exam, like any kind of assignment. I never really would cheat unless I really had to. Basically, I got desperate and I didn't study enough. I don't know, man. I just had to do what I had to do. But YouTube, I'm not endorsing these actions, okay? This is all for educational purposes. But yeah, today we're going over the best and worst cheating methods. Now, when I was in elementary school or middle school, I barely cheated because I thought if I broke a rule, it was the end of the world. I thought I was gonna go to jail, serve 50 years for cheating in school. It wasn't that deep. I would have just got an F on the test. But
as for me, I don't really give a fuck. I cheated in elementary school, high school, secondary school, all type of schools, nigga. I don't give a fuck. If you ain't cheating, you're not trying. If you didn't cheat, you didn't try. It's part of life. It's part of life.
I did cheat once for whatever reason, and when I did, I used this method where you would look at another student's paper. Now, when you look at somebody else's paper, you run the risk of getting caught immediately because the teacher's obviously gonna eye down everybody taking the test. Then you're sitting there looking like an idiot, trying to be slick, and when the teacher does glance in your direction, you pretend like you were looking at the clock or some shit. So when I didn't study enough and I was watching too much Lego Ninjago or playing too much Pokemon, whatever, that was my go-to. And one time I ended up getting caught, and the person's paper that I looked at, they ended up snitching on me. So yeah, it was up, bro. It was over. I had to explain away to the teacher. No, I was just looking across the room, you know, the paper just got in my line of sight, and I got out of it somehow. I have no clue how. We had like those cardboard folder, whatever the hell they were, things over our paper, so like we couldn't look at other people's paper, but I was like making it way too obvious, so it just wasn't gonna work out. Sometimes you can't even see all the information that you're trying to get on the paper, but if you take a quick glance and somehow get all the information, then I guess that's good. So overall, I'm gonna rate this method like a 4 out of 10. Now we got the chain method. I don't know what to call it, but basically this method requires an entire squadron of people ready to cheat and risk getting an F on their exam. Now I've never done this personally, but in one of my classes I have seen somebody doing this, and my brother has done it before. They would just give each...
I did that one. The chain method. I think I did that with like 5 of my friends, bro. It was crazy, nigga. It was crazy. We were like, what's the answer to this? What's the answer to this? My nigga, I was crazy, bro. What? High school was crazy.
Other little hand signal under the desk for whatever letter the answer was, and they would pass it down the row to each other. Like they had a whole line of people doing this, and I have no clue how the teacher didn't notice, but they all ended up passing the exam. And this method, it's pretty easy to get caught. Like I've seen people try to pass around a note card before, like, dog, what the hell? That's not gonna work. Like, they're gonna see you're passing something around. But you can't make it super obvious. But anyways, we're gonna rate this one probably a 6 out of 10. When it's done right, you know, it could be pretty solid. Going to the bathroom. Dog, this is the oldest trick in the book. I mean, unless your teacher does not give a singular... They are not falling for this. Like, imagine it's dead silent, and you just go up to the teacher like, can I go to the bathroom?
That shit don't work no more.
Just pack it up. But I mean, I guess if you really gotta go to the bathroom during an exam, yeah, you know, you could pull out your phone. I may or may not have done that a few times. But usually when a teacher does let you go to the bathroom, on the off chance they don't really care that much, they let you go for like 1 to 2 minutes. So you really gotta be quick with it. Like, I've seen people just call up their friend in the bathroom like, dude, you don't got time for all that. Or to play Clash of Clans. Like, I don't care how much your village needs you right now, bro. You gotta lock in. It's just not worth getting an F. I just go go quickly, get the answer you gotta get, and then go back. It's not worth trying to stall it out and get every single answer. You know, especially in college when there was $100,000 on the table. You know, I had to lock in, bro. I had to pass these tests. I couldn't just sit there and take a 26 on the test, because whether or not food was on the table was all dependent on how I would do on these tests. So sometimes I would have to resort to using ChatGPT. Now, when it comes to ChatGPT, it's a double-edged sword, because when it writes you a prompt, that shit sounds like robotic, okay? No human would write whatever ChatGPT just cooked up.
Say me in the chat if you use ChatGPT before. Say me in the chat if you use ChatGPT before, because I feel like everyone has used that before. If you haven't used that before, you're living life backwards. You're living life backwards if you haven't used ChatGPT before to cheat. You're living life backwards. And I said it. Yeah, what you gonna do?
So you have to take this prompt from ChatGPT. I can't even ChatGPT and humanize it. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, no human uses the word henceforth? That sounds like something somebody would have said during the Boston Tea Party. Like, oh, Jesus, how preposterous. Henceforth, I shall be back. Like, dog, we are in the almighty 2025. And I know AI is advancing and stuff, and it's honestly really scary how fast it's moving.
Bumbling through brush, my botanical escapade continues.
That doesn't mean AI is going to cook up a paper for you every single time, but it might give you some ideas on where to start, or you could just edit some shit out of it. So I'll give ChatGPT a 7 out of 10. It's pretty solid sometimes. Now we got looking at your phone in class. Now this one is very risky. And now the only time I would ever do this is if my test had a lockdown browser on it. Now one time when I was in Spanish class, I'm like, all right, dog, everyone else is using Google Translate. I'm gonna do it. And I pulled out my phone and I just left it in my backpack and pretended like I was reaching for something in my backpack. All right, not in that. Okay, I was pretending like I was grabbing a folder or a piece of paper, not a strap, okay? When I was grabbing said piece of paper, I would pull out my phone and Google Translate the answer. Because, dude, I did not study for that shit. I had way more important classes to study for. Writing shit on your arm. Bro, who does this, bro? Like, okay, this is some shit out of a cartoon. The moment you roll up your sleeve and the teacher sees a whole scripture on your arm, it's over. How would you be able to hide the entire study guide on your arm, bro? Like, this is not gonna work. But if it's something small, then I guess if that's really your sauce, I guess go for it. But in my opinion, I don't know. It just sounds like it's ass and it doesn't work. I don't know if I'm just being a hater or something, but yeah, I'm giving this one like a 2 out of 10. This one's garbage. I've seen people do it before, but I don't know. I don't think the teachers cared enough to stop it because it really wasn't gonna help them much during the test anyway. Plus, I don't want goddamn like lead poisoning or something. I'm totally cool off that. Now we got using websites such as Quizlet, Chegg, Course Hero. Now some of these websites you have to pay a subscription for, which is kind of ass to be honest. This shit really is pay to win out here. And the moment I got to college, bro, I knew I had to get a Chegg subscription. Now Quizlet and Chegg or whatever it is, it can help you with a lot of things. Like those stupid ass long busy work assignments that you gotta do where you gotta answer like 80 questions or some ridiculous shit like that. Like I don't have time to sit there and just fill out 80 questions. But if there's a lockdown browser and you don't want to risk using your phone, yeah, you're kind of cooked. Unless you have like some way to get around the lockdown browser, which I never really figured out a way to get around it. But regardless, 10 out of 10 method right here. It honestly really helps with those annoying ass quizzes that are like 10% of your grade for some reason. I mean, everyone looks up the answers for that anyway. No one's watching you do it. You're doing it on your own free time. You're gonna look up the answers. It's gonna happen. Working together with your classmates or like sending people the answers. Now this one, it all depends on whoever this person is you're sending the answer. They better not blow your cover. And if they don't change the answer at all, you guys are gonna get caught, obviously. So you gotta take extra precautions. You could like run it through a software that will change up the wording of it a bit, or just go in and do it yourself and change the wording. But bro, if I am delivering you the answers, you're the one changing the wording. I'm not doing it. And also, if you're receiving the answers, you gotta make sure whoever this classmate is that you're getting the answers from, you gotta make sure they have good grades in the class. Because a lot of times I would give people answers and yeah, they would end up being wrong. Because in some of those classes, I was barely passing. You gotta get answers from a tryhard, alright? Somebody who has an A in the class. They got internship offers everywhere. Or at least somebody who's doing well in the class. Otherwise, yeah, that shit's gonna be ass. And actually, a couple times, I've been caught working together with my brother. At the time, our school was like half online, half in person. So, you best believe we took advantage of that. And we got an email from the teacher saying like, hey, I know you guys work together. Don't do it again or else you will both be punished. And believe me, we're not stupid. We made sure to change our answers and everything. We made sure we had different answers for some of the questions. He would submit his at a completely different time. I genuinely have no idea how she figured it out. And also in college, I had this stupid ass busy work assignment I had to do. And it was something I had to do in order to graduate. Me and my brother did the assignment. I showed him my answers. However, he wrote completely different answers. But still, they said apparently we were working together and deducted 20% of our final grade. Like, bro, are you kidding me? This is some stupid ass busy work assignment. Why are you deducting 20% of our total grade? Then I got some dumbass email that was like, please have respect for the school's policy. If you are caught cheating again, you will have academic suspension. So for that reason, I'm gonna rate this method like a 6 out of 10. I have no clue what kind of technologies these teachers are using nowadays. I've been caught twice, so do this one at your own risk. Next, we have writing the answers on like the little paper on your water bottle. And if you look at your water bottle, you'll be able to see the answer or the formula, whatever it is. Now, this method is okay, but how much can you really fit on that little piece of paper? Unless you're bringing like a whole array of water bottles. But actually, nah, don't do that. That would look hella suspicious. Don't bring like 4 water bottles or some shit. This method I've only really seen used like one time, so it's not like the greatest strategy. If the teacher sees you eyeing down that water bottle, they're gonna confiscate it. So I'm gonna give this one like a 4 out of 10. Not the worst one in the world, but still pretty terrible. Now we got putting notes in your calculator. Like either leaving a note card in your calculator, or sometimes you could literally type a prompt in your calculator, depending on whatever type you have. Some calculators are crazy and can do like a whole ass calculus problem for you. You can't have one of those shitty mini calculators, bro. You gotta have a graphing one. For me, it was like $100 or something, but I would say it's definitely worth the investment. I've had that shit since middle school, and now this calculator is like 9 to 10 years old, and it still works. Anything I need for a math test, I would just leave it in the calculator. And this is a pretty good method. Like, if the teacher allows you to use a graphing calculator, definitely use this. This is like an 8 out of 10 method right here. But the best method you can do by far is pretending to submit your test. Now, this one only works in college because in high school, middle school, or whatever, the class isn't over once your exam is done. But college, it is. They dedicate the whole class to your exam. So what I've seen some people in my classes do, they would close their laptop and pretend like they submitted the test, walk out the room, and they would frantically go finish it somewhere else, look up all the answers, and then submit it. You don't want to leave too early. You don't want to leave too late, like right in the middle. If your teacher's super strict and like checks to make sure if you submitted it, you're cooked. But otherwise, this is a 10 out of 10 method. Now, do this at your own risk. I'm not endorsing this at all. I'm just making a video about it. But I'm sure some of you also want to skip school as well. So watch my video on the best ways to skip school. Just click on it.
Okay. I hope you learned a lot today. I hope you took down some notes. I hope you hit the subscribe button. I hope you hit the like button, because if you didn't, I don't know what you're doing. Please hit the subscribe button. Get your boy to 1 million subscribers. I know we're just at 200 right now, but we can do 1 million with this video. We can do 1 million with this video. It just takes one person. Just hit that button. Whoop! That's all. It's free. Just hit the button. Whoop! Subscribe. It's free. Please subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another YouTube video, or go watch my previous videos. Man, subscribe, please. Just subscribe, man. Subscribe. Damn.